Alright, today is Saturday, October 12th, and this is the first weekend after Hurricane Milton. We're in Fort Myers Beach, and hello.
How are you today?
Oh, pretty good. And I'm gonna go. I gotta put a little pretty sandy out there, so I want to make sure I'm well lubed. And my glasses on. I hate when glasses have spots on it. I mean, you just can't. You don't like looking through spots. Not at all. So there's a lot of sand everywhere. There's blowing sand. There's piles of sand. A lot of businesses are wiped out, and all that's left is a pile of sand. So anyway, I wasn't going to put any sunblock on because the layer of clouds moved in, but I'm going to put a little bit on just to say I did so. Give me a second. Alright. So we're looking at a crooked angle, the Fort Myers Town Hall. They're using the old Fort Myers Beach Town Hall as a sand piling ground. Piling sand up on the old Fort Myers Beach Town Hall. Just quick, this one give a little protection. Oh, out in the sun. One more leg. Oh, wow. That's about it. No 100%, but a good 80% coverage, that'll do. Tried to shave this morning, but that was that thing. Alright. Hold up to everything. I guess we're ready to roll. Alright. So there's a big excavator over there. Look at that big bucket. That bucket is as big as a car. I mean, as in retrospect, maybe as big as my little tiny car, but it's a pretty big bucket. Alright, so I think I have everything. Glasses in every spots. Lock the car. And let me just position this. So this is the first weekend I'm here. Again, it's October 12th, it's 2024. I'm here in Fort Myers Beach. I bought a new tire for my bicycle. Of course, I didn't have time to install it because of the hurricane. And I forgot all about it. And I could have taken an extra hour, put the tire on my bike, but I have other pressing Hurricane Milton cleanup that was preventing me from focusing on that. I really want to buy a new outer tube as well, so I got a brand new inner tube. I'm like, you know what? It needs a brand new outer tube to be put into. So this outer tube is taking a beating. So I think I'm gonna go into Walmart and later on see if they got one. If they got one, I'll buy it. Plus, I need to get other stuff. So it looks like they got a little detour going on here. So anyway, this is Hurricane Milton came, let me think here. It's been, I don't know, I haven't slept that much. I don't even remember when Milton came. All I know is that there was a lot of work, and I started working 24/7, like prep work 2 days in advance, nonstop. And then during Hurricane Milton, maybe I got maybe 3 or 4 hours of sleep, anticipating the full destruction. Again, Fort Myers Beach Library, I don't know, looks open. The gate's open, but the gate's probably destroyed. And the sand here, I'm trying to look for a high water mark. They pressure washed the outside of the building here, so you can't see where the high water mark is. But there's got to be a high water mark left on one of these other buildings. So I'm gonna head over to the beach because I want to check it out. There's really not that many people here from Murray's Beach. The parking lots are pretty empty comparatively. There's just a lot of people working down here cleaning up. So it might be a fast video. There's a lot of people pressure washing. I have to go home and do pressure washing in my driveway too. I have the Lanai area driveway, and then I'll take it over to my other house. I got to do the pool area and around the sidewalk, and yeah, I got pressure wash to the house too, to take off that high water mark. So I'm looking at this place here. I don't see a high water mark yet. The lighter the color buildings, the easier it is to determine where the high water mark is. Usually residences don't clear the high water mark off immediately, so you can go over to them and pretty much find out where the high water mark is. Here, this access agency tell, they always have a problem when it comes to water, but again, I don't see a high water mark on their building. So I have to be optimistic. I just can't be looking up like 20 feet up in the air. I have to look where normally the water would be. Like with this much sand washed in, the water should have been just maybe a foot or two higher than the sand. This is a lot of sand, but just a foot or two higher, not much more now. We look over here at Fresh Catch to determine if we could see a watermark. But a lot of sand has been excavated. This parking lot got some dumped onto it. They already scraped away most. There's some piles that are like 80 feet tall. I'm telling you, sand piles, 80 feet tall, which is pretty amazing. I have to go on the street because the sidewalk is pretty much unusable. There used to be a manufactured home here. I forget what it was, maybe Vanguard or something. But it's got the perfect piece of property. I want to rent it and put a real estate office there. I don't care about the flood. So Fresh Catch definitely sustained a little more damage. On my way into Fort Myers Beach, there was a lot of damage. Let's go this way. All these roads back here last week, even after Hurricane Helene, were empty of sand. So all the sand came just Hurricane Milton. And again, there's two hurricanes in a row. Hurricane Helene put 4 inches inside one of my homes and 5 inches for Hurricane Milton. So I'm getting pretty good about cleaning up. This place here is for sale. I wonder if they'll take $5. That would be my real estate office. Oh, shoot. All right. Oh, wow. All right, I just realized that there's nails all over the place. I got to be really careful about pricing. I threaded the needle on some nails. So I probably won't do too much more bicycling here on the beach. Go over here. I know there's nails, but I didn't expect so many nails because this wasn't a Hurricane Ian type of storm. It was powerful, I'm telling you. It was just as powerful as Hurricane Ian, and it could have been just as deadly. I don't know what saved this. I don't know. I have no clue. I had power up through. The hurricane had passed, and it was in Bradenton, and I still had power. Then we lost power right when it was like just south of Lakeland. We lost power for about 6 hours, and by the time we got power back, it was already east of Cape Canaveral. See, there's even big nails back here. I am going to buy a tire, but I don't want to buy 2 tires. So I'm wondering if I could bicycle all the way down to the beach here, because it looks pretty firm, and it feels firm. Wow. Oh. Well, back tire. I don't want to get that replaced. Alright, so this is not too bad. I wonder if the beach patrol is whining, gonna say, hey, you gotta get off the beach. The beach is closed. They may be. They'll say, do you live here on the beach? I'm like, no, I just came down here just to take a drive. They probably spot me already. I'm going to be driving towards them so they don't have to drive too far. So it's hard to say. It looks like the beach here. Alright, so I can tell you that the beach added about 1 foot in height and 20 yards. The beach is farther out by 20 yards. Now, South Seas Plantation, not South Seas, Pink Shell Plantation, Pink Shell Resort, excuse me. They were dredging and putting sand up here on the beach. But I bet Hurricane Milton replenished that sandbar offshore and dumped more sand on the beach. So Hurricane Milton did everything that the dredging that Pink Shell was doing, all for free of charge. Look at that. Fort Myers Beach got 20 more yards extended beach and 1 foot piled up on the beach. And where the property meets the beach, Milton really piled up some sand. So unlike Hurricane Ian, which did add 2 feet to the beach, this is, I can see now the tide. It looks like it's going off high tide. So we just passed the high tide and it's going down. Maybe a mid tide, maybe, but anyway, the seagulls here are tired. They don't even want to fly. They hear me talking, they're like, oh, big deal. Too tired to fly. The shelling is not too good at the moment, but it was okay. It looks like it gets better south of here, so in the opposite direction that I'm pedaling. So you got these trucks, they're picking up debris off the beach. Mostly aluminum and stuff that just doesn't belong here. They're leaving beach debris. They're just not picking up everything else. Because you never know what you'll find here. Now, if there were a lot of dead people, then they would probably prevent people. Look. Sharp objects everywhere, not just pen shells, but pieces of wood, there's nails, there's glass, there's porcelain everywhere. It's just this is where it all ends up. All the flooding just floods back into the Gulf, and the Gulf is the big repository. It's got to sink its way down below the top of the sand, and that's going to take a couple tides. So I guess the hurricane hit on, I don't even know. I think Wednesday midday. And by Wednesday evening, I should say by Thursday evening, I was fully, well, I wouldn't call it cleaned. I got my house, both homes, only one of my homes got damaged. The other home, the water came right up to the threshold. I mean, literally, maybe a millimeter to spare. And luckily there was no like redneck driving 50 miles an hour down my street with a pickup truck making a 2-foot wave, because if he did, that would have rolled right through the house and ruined all my new construction. But luckily there were no rednecks down my street, and so that's a good thing. I mean, yeah, it's fun to drive down a flooded area with a pickup truck and make a 2-foot wave, but it's not good when that 2-foot wave goes crashing into people's homes. But luckily, I got no water damage inside the house there, so that was good. The garage just had minimal. I had reinforced with expansion foam. That's the best thing. Expansion foam and or Gorilla spray adhesive and plastic. Those two things work 100%, stop all water intrusion. I used caulking and masking tape. That was like only so-so. That did a little, it helped slow it down, but didn't stop it. But the Gorilla spray adhesive with plastic, you let that sit for about a day, that turned to iron. And I used 4 mils, nothing penetrated that. Even debris was bouncing off of it. I had a door that I did that. I peeled it off. It was dry as a bone, and the water had gotten 2 feet high on that plastic. Inside, dry as a bone. When I peeled it off, I'm like, oh man, that worked. And then I also used expansion foam on my doorway cracks and in front of my garage. That held back perfect. But the caulking, I did that on my glass sliders because I didn't want something. Actually, expansion foam just peels away from aluminum. It's aluminum and expansion foam go really well together. But I didn't. Even the expansion foam peels off glass real simple. And so next time I'll know that expansion foam, use that on aluminum sliders, use that on glass because it peels away easily. You just clean it up with light alcohol. Whereas caulking is a little more messy. So we're passing by. All these resorts must be closed. Passing by Diamond Head. Their pool's closed. Must have sand in it. The beach bar had just reopened a couple months ago from Hurricane Ian. Now it's probably closed again. It sounds like that power probably has not been restored 100% to the beach. There's a lot of generators running. But all the traffic lights were on coming onto the beach, but they were just flashing yellow, red. Here's again, a lot of these birds here are just relaxing. And I'm getting out of the way. You know, I'm not avoiding them. There's the clubhouse that they want like $1 million for. So that clubhouse has survived Hurricane Helene, Hurricane Milton, damage of course in Hurricane Ian. And there's an RV, nobody moved it. That took a shellacking during Helene. I took a bigger shellacking. Over there, Sun and Fun Rentals. They didn't move all their bikes. They got hit hard. I don't know what they're going to do, but they have a lot of electric bikes. Well, once you get salt water and an electric battery, forget that electric battery. And those electric batteries are steep. So they took a big hit on the chin. I don't know if they're going to reopen. If they do reopen, probably not with electric bikes. Yeah, bicycling on the beach is pretty nice. So a couple people are here. These are the fortunate people that either are renting or some of them got big bags of shells. It's beautiful on the beach now. It's so relaxing and quiet. Hello. Hello. Okay, shelling has just improved here. Probably stop and find some really good shells. It's a smaller variety. I saw a turban shell, which is tempting because I like turbans. Oh, yeah, there are some good shells here. I'm looking down. I saw a cowrie shell. There's a worm shell. I saw an auger. There's a horn shell. A lot of these shells resemble the shells you would find on Sanibel. So there must have been some good. Sanibel got clobbered. Sanibel had a good, like, almost 10 to 12 hours of direct impact. I still see the lighthouse in here, and it looks like the beach is drastically altered. All the resorts are closed. That's why it's so dead here. They're still trying to charge, though, to park in the Lanakai, but I don't see Lanakai open. Otherwise, they'd have the umbrellas up. So, people are getting the good... Hello. People are getting the choice spots, but they don't realize that everywhere is a choice spot right now. The Fort Myers Beach Pier looks like it lost one or two pilings from Hurricane Milton, because I see a couple missing. That's interesting. The Fort Myers Beach police substation, that's missing. And also, Mojo's Coffee is also missing on Cerro Boulevard. I don't know if they hauled it away or if it was floated away. It's missing. So everyone's picking up seashells. Must have been really good earlier today. I'll come back on the beach too. It's a beautiful ride. So, Margaritaville, its pool is completely dirty. So they don't have any workers here right now. The resort was closed right before the hurricane. They had just gone through fixing their pool. I mean, it took them about 2 days. It was sparkling a week ago after Hurricane Helene. Sparkling. And people were, I mean, must have had about 100 people in at minimum. Unfortunately now, Hurricane Milton, a little more powerful. Look at their dock, completely wiped out. So people are shoveling, a lot of construction crews. Most of the palm trees that they put up were blown down. A lot of the fencing, the fencing around the property is like tilted over pretty far. That needs to be straightened. The bars got inundated. I'm still trying to determine where the high water mark is. But for this dock to get wiped out like this, the water had to have been at least 6 feet higher than that. There's no way a 3-foot wave would do that. That's a 6-7 foot wave. So I'm still looking for a high water mark. Maybe back by Island, the Lighthouse Resort. We'll take a little drive, a little excursion back there, and we'll come back on the beach. This is not that much on the beach. It's about 2 o'clock. I could have got here earlier. I tried. It was actually more of a blue sky earlier, but I was cleaning up the front yard a little bit. My wife stopped by. I just talked to some of the neighbors. We're all like helping each other, all the neighbors. So I was lending my wagon out. I offered to do some pressure washing. I'm really looking for a dehumidifier. I had to give back the one I was borrowing to someone else who needed it. So I'm going out to Walmart right now, seeing what they got. I need a 100-foot extension power cord. I need a 100-foot hose, because the hoses that I have are kind of like in poor shape, and I was using some of those hoses in my well water, so I didn't really want to put that well water through the pressure washer. So I'm like, I'm going to buy a new hose. So I'm going to stop at Walmart, get a couple things. I also have to stop at Family Hardware because I need a new mop head. My mop head is about worn out. So most of the restaurants here are closed. I'm not sure if there's still a curfew here on the beach. There probably is a dusk to dawn curfew. Lynn Hall Park is closed with big sand mounds again. Whatchamacallit, Times Square. They're all still digging out. From the look of things here, there was an extremely high tide recently. So it rained a little bit yesterday, but not much. Today it hasn't rained yet. This beach is gorgeous. And see that if they were starting to rebuild that silly berm again. Hurricane Milton slapped them in the face silly, said, berm, watch me dump this inside your canals and inside of Cerro Boulevard. And believe me, Cerro Boulevard must have had a foot of sand deep for the two 80-foot mounds of sand that they have. One at the old, they have one in back of the school, and then one fantastic. But we'll definitely have to come back on the beach this way. We're gonna see that. We're gonna see if we can bicycle by the pink shell, because I'm kind of curious to see what it was like. So this is what Hurricane Milton did. It extended the beach. Now we're coming up to the dredging point. So we'll see how much sand Hurricane Milton took away from their dredging. From the looks of things, I could see the Sanibel Causeway. It looks intact, but we can't really tell because Sanibel Causeway's, again, the way that they designed the repair after Ian was completely silly. The person who stole all the money there, the hundreds of millions of dollars they completely flushed down the toilet there, should be lined up against the wall with a blindfold and shot 100 times. Sorry. Okay, maybe not, but again, if I did the causeway, it would have been done under budget, 4 months before schedule, and it would have been nice. It would have been a continuous bridge with 2 off ramps and 2 on ramps on each island. And that way, if you miss one, you can go exit the next one without having to do a complete turnaround. And yeah, this is part of the dredging / Hurricane Milton. Hurricane Milton pounded this, so it took out all the air and took away any of the lighter stuff and really compressed the beach nice here. It's nicely. I haven't bicycled this part yet after the dredging, so all their tools were lined up here on the beach, got inundated with seawater, so they're all ruined. All those diesel tools, they're all gone. They're just gonna sit there like scrap now. That's one thing, when a hurricane's coming, oh wow, now that is soft. If it continues like, all right, we're not gonna be able to go any further. It's getting too soft. At least down here. Let me try up here. There's a lot of seashells here too. I'm seeing weird shells. After a hurricanes dredge the bottom and bring it in. They got their 10 to 15 foot waves offshore. There was a 21 foot offshore waves that was recorded, but they didn't get close to Fort Myers, thank goodness. They went and hit, I don't know if they hit Port Charlotte, but Venice got hit with something pretty huge. So they probably experienced what Fort Myers experienced. The southern side of the eye got the worst. Fort Myers Beach got it from Hurricane Ian. But this Hurricane Milton, was actually stronger than Hurricane Ian. It was moving faster, so even though the flood would come in and out faster, the water behind it had more energy. So the 7 to 9 foot waves on top of the 10 to 12 foot surge here didn't have as much energy and lasted a little bit longer, almost 12 hours here at Fort Myers Beach for Hurricane Ian. But the waves for Hurricane Milton had, it was a 15 foot surge with possibly up to 21 foot waves. And it was approaching at 15 to 18 miles per hour. The Hurricane Ian was like barely going by at 10 to 12 miles an hour. So it had almost twice the energy, potentially. Whether the energy was in height or in ramming power. Alright, so we're done. I was going to go down there, but looks like they have some power tools. We're here on the beach, and Pink Shell, I can see from this distance, is closed. Two of their gazebos or whatever, you can see that they've been pushed back, so the tide did some damage to them. And it looks like they cleaned up the beach a lot. The beach still is pretty wide, but you can see Sanibel Causeway. It looks fine, but there probably is damage because Sanibel, I saw, even before the storm hit, 6 hours before the storm got here, there was a ton of waves crossing over Sanibel. So Sanibel had a surge going on even before the rest of Lee County had a surge. They had like a 4-foot surge going on that was affecting the island, and that surge didn't even make it over here to Fort Myers Beach. So when I say a 4-foot, they had 4 feet of water higher than Fort Myers Beach because of the way the currents were right offshore. The currents offshore were running parallel to Fort Myers Beach, but Sanibel They're running perpendicular, so they smashed into the sandbar and rose up. Oh, wow. I don't know where the bicycle. You go back towards the water. Find some flat level ground. Yeah, I don't know where these clouds came from, because like 2.5 hours ago it was like beautiful blue skies. I was trying to get the bicycle ready. It was 71 degrees this morning. I was like, excellent. And I was like, man, should I work outside because I won't sweat in 71 degrees? Or should I get ready to go to the beach? And I said, you know what? Let's go out for a short garage sale. There was no garage sale. Well, there was one garage sale. Out of 5, there was only one. And that one was pretty good. I didn't buy anything. So it wasn't really, it was a waste of time. But I just like getting out. You know, get your mind off the devastation. You know, it still hasn't sunk in. I mean, the cost, you know, I did lose all the doors in my house need to be replaced. I mean, that's at least $3,000 worth of damage. Just in that. I haven't checked all the electrical outlets yet. Hello. And a lot of people picked up seashells. And again, this is the Best Western Plus. I like this hotel here on the left. And it doesn't look like they got much, or maybe they already cleaned it up, but the pool, I can't tell about a high water mark. And the sand is pretty clean. When it comes to a high water mark, it doesn't leave much of a mess. Whereas once it comes in contact with mud and leaves and debris, it'll leave a terminal line. I still don't see anything here. The farther inland we go, or a residence, it could be a watermark. Sometimes on these darker buildings you'll see one. Even if it was like a sand, the white sand on blue, like this blue building coming up, you might be able to see one. Then again, when you have waves, we're close to the sea here with wave action, the waves will just clean it off. You need to go to, you know, a gradual increase in the water. Royal Scoop, that building was boarded up, survived Hurricane Helene, but it did not survive. Milton just blew through. So the water was above the Royal Scoop Blue building on Sarah Boulevard here at Fort Myers Beach. And again, a 3-foot wave wouldn't have knocked down that wood. It had to have been higher than that. 3 foot. I mean, 3 foot carries a lot of punch, don't get me wrong. You could have wiped it out, but I would think that it's maybe a 5-foot wave. Then again, maybe a 5-foot wave would have done more damage. Okay, so somewhere between a 3 and a 4-foot wave. I can't tell how high. How high was the water mark? How high did the water get? How high? How high was the water level? Okay, all right. See if I don't understand English. So, you know, it's hard to tell, but you have to go where there's like a lot of tree debris, a lot of like long fauna gets washed up and settles. You then determine where the high tide mark is. We'll go inland. I here at the old Fort Myers Beach Pier. The pelicans are still hanging out, enjoying themselves. Let's get back to some of this hard sand here. Oh, nice. Hello. What to say? I can see some rust on the door, so it looks like the water is at least. Hello. Some rust on the door, so the water level had to have been at least 5 feet higher than this point where I'm at right now. Hello. This is very nice. There's not that many people down here. This is the perfect day to come to the beach and relax. I mean, look at this. Get your choice of the beach. The seagulls are wondering where everyone is. The seagulls are very sociable. So we're gonna go on land here. There's not that many people to see at the beach. We just missed the best sight on the beach. Terrible. There's actually two of them there. All right, let's see how far we can pedal. So I'm looking here. It looks like Hurricane Milton deposited some sand here. This is hard sand, which is good. And then it took some sand away from this little bulkhead, which they can just shovel some sand and dump it in here. It's not a big deal. And it looks like, looking at the parking lot here, looks like Hurricane Milton undermined some of the parking lot there. Now that was undermined before Hurricane Ian, and they just dumped sand over there. So it looks like Hurricane Milton took some of that sand away. You can see the parking lot, they're still shoveling into some mounds. All the porta potties, of course, are missing. Surf Style, that building right there, they just finished putting all those windows in. And it looks like those windows held, so that's amazing. Because I know the water level at this point was at least 3 feet high. At least 3 feet high where I'm currently bicycling, which is right up to where I'm sitting, at least. We're still looking for a high water mark. So all these businesses here are wiped out. It's sad. Who knows if they hauled their businesses away or not. The Fort Myers Beach clock is gone. That got wiped out. So that was right here. So just a stand. That tree got knocked over. All these fences got wrapped up as a pretzel. Some of these new palm trees just planted, they withheld it. Wow. But you can see over there, that place is gone. It's missing. Still nothing. The old, I can't think of the name of it now. The old Greek place still not there. Pier 1, top of mast, still very clean, still nothing. These places, this was Yo Taco, it's now missing. There's running over a tile. That could puncture a tire easy. This place, I don't know. They moved there. If they either moved it or it got washed away. I don't know. Well, still looking for a high water mark. Let me go back to where some of the residences are. I can find out where the high water mark was. We'll check out. We'll make it like a figure 8. We'll go back and check out. Oh look, here's the Tesla truck. It's pretty awesome. Of course, he just parks it like he owns all Fort Myers Beach. It's pretty cool. I don't want to spend $100 grand on it. It's loaded with tools. Alright, we'll go this way. Cold Stone Creamery. Looks open actually. Look at that. No, they're clean enough. Still don't see a high water mark. That's what we're looking for right now. There's a Jeep over there. It's pretty cool. Mr. Waves, they did a great job with the hurricane shutters. And this place. If I was a business owner, I don't know, I would open up today because a lot of these construction workers need to eat. I don't smell any pizza from that pizzeria, but let's drive down Cerro Boulevard and check it out because we really didn't see that much damage. I have to be very cognizant about nails, so I'm going to bicycle here on the road so I can look down and see where the nails and glass is. So now people parked on the left-hand side here. These are tourists, so they're coming to the beach. They got to pay the outrageous. I think actually it's only $2 an hour. It's not $5 an hour. Well, somewhere between 2 and 5. I don't know. Some of them maybe 5. But Lynn Hall Park is It's kind of fun if you're a kid, though, coming to the beach and seeing these big sand dunes and saying, wow, this is awesome. I'd feel like that. Back in the 1960s, if my parents took me to a beach after a hurricane, I saw a nice big sand mound. I'm like, hey, can I, just like a snow mound, you want to jump on top of it, right? You want to climb to the top and then traverse the apex. Sure, I want to walk the whole summit of the mound, sand mound. My parents would tell me if it was snow, oh, you're gonna fall in, or if it's sand, oh, you'll fall in, you'll get stuck. Yeah, right. So you can see this is what they did during Hurricane Helene too. They had probably just maybe an eighth less, but they had just about as much sand. Hurricane Milton though beat Helene. I don't know where it got all this additional sand from, but thank you for making that useless berm. See, the useless berm was pushed. And some of these properties, like Bel Air Beach Club, they're pooling out, it's full of sand. But look at some of these properties, like this property here on the right, that was devoid of sand before Helene and Milton. Now they have a nice pad of sand there. I mean, that's like $30,000 minimum full of sand. And this property on the left-hand side, right next before Best Western Plus, they were excavated a little bit for Ian after Helene hurricane and Hurricane Milton. All the voids are filled in. I mean, they got at least $40,000 worth of free sand. Nice. That's sweet. See, they had just finished cleaning their parking lot. Oh well, so much for cleaning parking lots. Come on, back over this a little bit. Let's see, this is going to be problematic. We may not be able to go any further here. We're not going to go any further. It looks like they're still cleaning the road, but still looking for that high water mark. Some of the garages, I just can't tell. There is people staying here at Best Western Plus. They did a great job renovating this place. But they didn't get nowhere near 21 feet of water where, Hurricane Ian. So we'll drive down this little street here and check it out. Now that it's getting dark, I don't know why, but it's dark possible here. Check it out. Do you guys know how high the water got down here?
Not, unfortunately.
No? Okay. I was looking for a high water mark. I haven't seen one yet. So, usually you'll see leaves left because lower than the high water mark, the leaves would have been washed off. Higher than the water mark, there wouldn't be any leaves. So leaves usually, when they sit, they'll show you where the high water mark was. Something is telling me it came up 5 feet here, but I still don't know for sure. But noting all the damage, something ferocious has to have destroyed a lot of that. Like this thing was destroyed by a tornado. This house's pool enclosure, which is pretty sad. That's a $100,000 enclosure. So, but most of the homes here look in great shape. So there's some power lines here, not going any further. See, everyone's running on generator here. There's no power. That pole is listing big time. It seems like every house has their own transformer up in the telephone pole, which is pretty expensive. In Cape Coral, it's like that. Very expensive. This is a cute little house here on the left-hand side. The ground floor got inundated, that's for sure. But again, all these homes look like they were just freshly painted within the last year. And they probably use the right type of paint that doesn't show a water line. Or everyone just got the pressure washers out and it's already cleaned up. So they have a lot lot of stuff here. This refrigerator, this is the saddest thing. It's a brand new refrigerator out by the curb. Hello.
John?
You know how high the water got in this area?
I really don't.
Okay.
I would imagine it's been anywhere from 2 to 3 feet pretty much across the island.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, I'm looking at Margaritaville because those docks got pushed up like that.
Yeah.
That had to have been more than 2 or 3 feet.
Yeah, maybe a little more on the north
I
end.
mean, I could see in that garage way in the back.
Yeah.
Looks like there's like 1.5 feet high water back there.
I can't see that far.
Okay. I'm just kind of
Oh,
curious.
on that side. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
But I can't tell if that's true or not.
Yeah, it was a mess. You know, I've really been down on the south end for the most part. I haven't gotten up here. I've just got up here.
Yeah.
I know on the other side.
Yeah, I saw in Little Star Island a lot of the mobile homes got wrecked.
Yeah, I'm heading over there next. How'd you do? You got a house down there?
I got 5 inches of water inside, which is nothing.
That's not
No.
It's okay. Where are you at?
Well, I'm in Fort Myers,
Okay. Where?
but right by Whiskey Creek.
Yeah.
So-
You're on the creek?
No,
close
no,
to
one
it.
house off the creek. Yeah,
Alright.
yeah. Made a mistake. I think my house is 7 feet above mean high tide.
Mine's 7.5.
Oh, so you missed. You lucked out
I'm across. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
across from the Edison down Gasparilla.
because they said that the surge in
I got it in my garage.
well they said
Didn't
that
come in my door.
yeah they said that the surge was 8.5 feet in the Whiskey Creek area.
Okay.
8.5 feet.
Yeah. So I could see it being a little less.
So,
because
it was-
I'm probably 2 miles north of you at McGregor.
Yeah. So my door, my sliders were holding back 1.5 feet minimum of water, but I only got 5 inches inside.
You know Barrett Stayskill? He lives in the neighborhood. Big guy, big orange
Maybe.
beard.
Yeah, maybe.
Big motherfucker.
Ah.
He's out live streaming the storm the whole night
wow.
on Facebook. He's a good buddy of
must be
mine. I got a
sweet.
bunch of friends that live over Whiskey Creek.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're helping each other out. I just had to go get a dehumidifier, some other stuff from Walmart, so I thought I'd come here first, check it out before they clean up most of the stuff. I want to see for myself what the destruction was.
It's not as bad as Ian.
No,
that's
oh,
for sure.
definitely not. No, Ian got 21 feet high.
But here's the thing. I'm Justin, by the way.
Barry.
Barry?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. The ranch houses,
Oh yeah, the low-riding homes. Yeah.
they didn't do well. It's twice in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm actually looking for a contractor to possibly raise my house 15 feet. If I don't sell the house before then.
Look, you rate. I mean,
I'm kind of curious what happened to Mojo Coffee over there. I mean, I'm hoping that they hauled their.
they got off island.
They got off island? Oh, that's
look,
good.
there was a lot. The island shut down.
Oh, yeah.
Monday, 3 o'clock.
Smart.
There's plenty of warning.
Yeah, and
right?
that's 2 days to get off. Yeah, because the storm didn't really hit us till Wednesday.
So have you
Wednesday at
looked
noon.
into jacking it up yet? Because that's a big number.
Yeah, but I'm gonna use like unconventional friends and family.
right.
Self contract. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm gonna get going. But
Yeah.
nice
hey,
to
man,
meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah.
You bet.
I'm admiring this refrigerator. Sometimes people jump the gun and emotionally put stuff out, but
Right.
you let that dry for 2 or 3 days, and it may start working again, depending. So anyway, I saw over here inside the garage, it looks like there's a watermark, and I can't tell, it's too far away. Obviously I don't want to walk over someone's property. I'm looking.
Hey, Barry, if you decide to sell it, give me a call. I'll be happy to come by and give you a valuation.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, Alex.
Yeah, but
Nice
I'm on the other side.
Oh,
That's
Justin.
Justin
Sorry.
O'Hara, yeah.
All right,
And I'm just
Nice
up
again.
the street from you.
all right,
All right.
appreciate that.
Take care, Barry.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, so again, trying to drum up some business. He doesn't realize that I'm a real estate broker too. Anyway, sometimes you don't want to play your poker hand. He played his. That's all right. All right, so didn't realize that. I may have to edit out that chat. All right. So, you know what? If you're a realtor, you got a business cards. Now's the time. People emotions are running high. They want to sell. They want to buy. Again, I like this Best Western Plus. I'd like to make it into a casino. And there's plenty of land on both sides now for parking garage, lazy river, elevated parking garage, all 21 feet. The only thing is that this hotel, because it's a legacy, would have to stay at the elevation that it's at. But the casino, like right here, that'd be elevated 21 feet. I'd have a bridge going across the road here, 20 to 30 feet up, just in case there's another hurricane. Oh, here, Alex King. So he's the realtor, a little different. He works at that real estate office, but he's not that guy. All right. Still looking for a high water mark. So someone's staircase got wiped out there, so that's 2 feet. And they see a lot of the garages got really hit. And they got hit, looks like almost 3 feet above ground level. So that's about 4 feet above where I am, maybe 5 feet. So yeah, my 5 feet is still, my presumption is 5 feet above ground level, which were about 4 feet above the tide. So it's about 9 feet. And we had 8.5 inland, which is about right, because usually it's a little higher by the beach here, and then it dissipates inland. So 9 feet. If we had 8.5 feet, they had to have had at least 8.5 feet here. So 9 feet. So 5 feet above ground level here, because we're 4 feet above the beach, 5 feet above ground. Okay, so that's how we deduced it. Some of these garages, yeah. That great house over there to the left, they just built that. The garage door got really mangled. That looks like, I don't know, that looks like a 7-foot disaster. But it could have been 5-foot wave hit it and just yanked something out and pulled it. This building over here on the left, not surf style, but the two buildings to the left of that, they got some serious damage. I don't see them recovering. The Pizza Grill, that little shopping center straight ahead, kind of towards the right, straight ahead, that survived. All that, what's left of Times Square survived. Those buildings were built super. And these two surf style buildings, they withheld the water. They probably got a little damage inside, but they withheld the water pretty good. Then again, when you have 8 or 5 feet of water outside, it's going to force its way into every nook and cranny. So these two buildings right here, the Tropical Sunset, these are damaged beyond repair. And this building here too. It's sad because there was a little restaurant that was just starting up there. See this thing here? It's done. This building on the left is built rock solid, so they're probably all right. Yucatan was one of the first restaurants to reopen after Hurricane Ian. So I'm looking at it right now. It's not open. Well, I take that back. It is open. Wow. So Yucatan's open. And I can tell because there's mustard and ketchup on the tables, and there's like two tables being used right now. It looks like by restoration crews, but still, that means they're open. That's amazing. So this 430 Old San Carlos Boulevard, I wanted to buy that. But now that I know that hurricanes hit this island, I don't know, I might be kind of reluctant to buy that. I was going to go down that street and look at the high water mark down there, but I think I know already where the high water mark is. See, we're going kind of down now towards the back bay, so it's getting a little more, so the water mark will be higher. If I estimate 5 feet above ground on stereo, it's about 6 feet now. Still don't see a sign. Don't see a debris mark. Awnings are good, they'll show it. See this awning here? See how it's washed? It's like 2 feet above there. It's about 6 feet high. That looks like where the high water mark was on that awning. But I could be wrong. marked down here somewhere. Sometimes, wood and trees sometimes will show it. Metal is hard. Concrete sometimes. Raw concrete, not painted concrete. Can't really tell here. See, there's been enough days, so it hit on Wednesday, it was done by Thursday, so you had Friday and now today Saturday, 2 full days to clean up. Let's see, over here. Alright, straight ahead, it looks like there was a watermark. This watermark only appears to be about 3 feet. See straight ahead on the blue building, there's like a little dirt mine. That's 3 feet high. That's the watermark. That's the watermark. But is it the watermark? Hello. Yeah, like a whole bunch of families help cleaning. This is nice. I wonder if they have a restoration crew here. So that street is pretty sandy, so let's go up this area. So that could be 3 feet, I don't know. I doubt it because water level has to be higher than that. It has to be higher than that. There's no way 3 feet. This building just got cracked. And, well, yeah, I don't want to go down that street because there's cars zipping down there creating like sandstorms. So we're going to go this way. I gotta be cognizant about nails though. Now the sad thing is that the Lighthouse Resort these buildings are almost done. And the storm hit. It looks like they're made out of concrete, but they're not. Now this level of rock, this was just added here, this 2 feet of rock. I'm wondering if they just piled rock up on top of the sand. Because that wasn't here before, so they must have just did that. Interesting. But I'm seeing a 3-foot watermark around here too. I know the watermark is higher. This looks like it could be stucco that was put on just recently. Thank goodness they just put it on too, that being waterproof. But they got water inside. They may have to demolish these buildings too. These are wooden structures with stucco on the outside. Okay, so this green building, let's see if we can find a watermark on this green building. Let's see. Really, it looks like it was clean. Look at that tight alley there. You squeeze through that alley between the buildings, look at that. That's only about 18 inches wide. You'd have to shimmy through. I'm looking at a watermark here. I don't see one. Sometimes when you're close up, you can't see it, but when you get farther away, you can see it. But I don't see it whether I'm close or far away. I'm telling you, it has to be about at least 5 feet. 4 feet above the beach and 5 feet above the ground. It has to be 5 feet. Some of the air conditioners at 4 and 5 feet were washed away. So that's a sign that the water got that high here. And we're going to get back on the beach. So this Yucatan, again, is open, which is great. I bet the Lighthouse Resort is open too. Let's make a quick little jump over there and just check it out. Thank you. There's a kabuta. Those little kabutas, that's either 1 or 2 ton. You can get them as low as $1,000. Now shipping and import fees could be a little extra, but $1,000. I want to buy a ton of them. I can almost rent it out for $600 an hour. Maybe more. because the value of them, once you get them over here, then they're worth $8,000. So I think you value it. You rent it by the day. I think it's one tenth what the value is. So if it could be. I think that's kind of low. If it's valued at $6,000, that'd be $600 a day rental. No, probably more than that. $600 an hour, probably $1,500 a day. All right, we're going across here. So Margaritaville is spending the people, the manpower. We'll have to drive down here a little bit. I want to check it out. I could have went through the other way, but there's picking up so much sand. Gotta be careful because there's a lot of mud here on the road. I don't want to get a bag. I'm wearing a white shirt too. Here. Oh wow, that's a bad idea. Bad idea. A lot of these people are volunteers. They don't even get paid. Yeah, this is a bad idea. I'm gonna turn around. This thing is it's gonna be spraying that mud up. And I got a white shirt. Pretty sad. Alright, so we're gonna go back to the beach. It has to be 9 feet. I'll just assume it was 9 feet. It's 5 feet above ground here. So this is what it looks like 2 days after a hurricane. But there are some tourists, some guests. So Yucatan has some customers. I see people going into Yucatan too, so they could be the only gig around. It looks like that the Lighthouse Resort is partially open. I don't know if they're totally open. Look, I'm looking back because the Lighthouse Bar, the Tiki, that is like the heartbeat of Fort Myers Beach. If that's open, Fort Myers Beach will stay alive. If it's not, then I guess. Alright, so is the tide coming in or going out? There's 2 boats in front of Margaritaville. It's amazing. So the parking lot here got washed out a little bit. So they're gonna have to dump some of the sand here. This parking lot was getting washed out, even Hurricane Ian. They dumped sand here temporarily. But a lot of the beach here got taken away. So that's interesting. The beach used to go right up here, so they lost some sand here. And see, there's their staircase, their ramp has been pushed all the way over there. And that couldn't have been done with a 3-foot wave. There has to be a 6-7 foot wave over ground level to push it that far. And there's their staircase too. That was not good, but that's I mean, humans could have pulled it out of the way, you know, I'm not saying that they could, but if it ended up like that, that's a huge wave. Same thing here. Human truck could have pushed that out of the way, but I used to own a business right over here, straight ahead, the Lighthouse Sandwich Shop, where that guy is raking straight ahead in black. That's where I used to own a business. My business would have been the first wiped out. When you come to a beach and you see the beach and you see a business and it was $60,000 and you buy it, you don't think about hurricane. You think about making money for spring break. And luckily, I sold it within 5. I bought it, and the next day I'm like, I better sell this. I put it back on the market. 5 months later, it was sold for $20,000 more. So we made a profit on operation, and we made a profit on sale. That was my first foray into owning a business. 9 out of 10 people usually fail when they do that, so I was the lucky one. back here on the beach. So we'll probably wrap it up, go back to the car from here. People are drinking water. I was hoping to see people eating ice cream, but I don't see that. What's sad about Margaritaville, about their pool, they're shoveling sand and throwing it out of the window. You can see it straight ahead. That's sand coming out the window of the bar there, of the whatever the bar there is called. La di da. They're shoveling sand and throwing it out the window. That opening, I guess. So again, there's a lot of people that are parked near the Lana Kai. I don't see the Lana Kai being open, but they're there. The sad thing is that the pool area of Margaritaville is totally, well, not totally wiped out, but the pool is full of sand again. A lot of the chairs are in the pool. It's just really, the pool is all dark color, not crystal blue like it was. It's just a shame they didn't raise that pool up an additional 15 feet in elevation. Then it would have escaped. Well, maybe not Hurricane Ian. That was a once in a lifetime, but it would have escaped Helene, and it would have escaped Milton. There is a rain cloud forming just to the north of here. It's pretty impressive too. I'm not sure which way it's coming, but it could be hitting my house. And I do need a nice rainstorm to clean up the ground a little bit. I pretty much got my yard cleaned up. There's some areas in the back I've overlooked, but I'll get to it. So the beach is getting more firmer. I like that. For some reason, it looks like the tide is going out a little bit. A little bit. Now that's something. There's girls taking pictures of their matching bathing suits straight ahead right there. Look, they're taking pictures of their bottom. Sorry, I had to point that out. It's terrible. They're taking cameras and taking pictures. Oh wow, good pass. So anyway, you just never know when you come to the beach. You can find birds, you can find women taking pictures of their rear ends. I expect to see people like in the water or playing football. Some of these other things I don't expect. So you got more people setting up. You know, it's a nice day. You know, there's plenty of parking. Oh, here's this tank on the beach. It's got a full tread tank over here. Straight ahead. It is. That thing was sitting for the longest while parked at a house after Hurricane Ian for about a year, and it finally moved. They picked up like lights and stuff. It's pretty awesome. We're not going to go too much further. It looks like Kiastero. They're okay. few puppies. They would love to be running on the beach. I don't blame them. I would set them free. They could run after the seagulls. But so the mountain bike is being put to the task because there's a lot of outflow sandbar, sand dunes here that are pretty steep. I mean, the beach in this area is big. I mean, it added a good 20 yards. And in front of the Lanakai now, it's over 100 yards. I mean, not Lanakai, from Diamond Head, it's over 100 yards to the beach now. It's probably a mid-tide. And yeah, behind me it looks like a really fierce rain cloud, or front. In front of me it looks fine. Let's see. See? You see, it's kind of fierce over there, and then right behind me there, it's kind of dark. You can even see some rain over Sanibel there, coming from that thunderhead there. It's almost directly behind me, and directly above and behind me. But looking out front, looks perfectly fine. So I remembered both cameras today, thank goodness. Hello. There's the Nautilus Hotel. I don't see that much more damage. Still no construction that I can see on it. They repaired some of the roof, some of the aluminum roof, but that was after Hurricane Ian, a year after Hurricane Ian. So I haven't seen anything done now. The sad thing is that the Tahitian Inn on the way to Fort Myers Beach on San Carlos Boulevard, that got hit by Helene a little bit and by Milton. So in my eyes, that structure now is marked for demolition because so much damage now is seeped into those rooms. Those rooms probably smell like a saltwater aquarium. I mean, really stinky. There's no way they're going to clean that. They have to demolish, rebuild. You just see the 80-foot high mound that they're building on the old Fort Myers Beach Town Center. And we'll get a view in a second. And I would say it is 80 feet tall. It's a big one. Maybe not 80. Okay, maybe 50. It looks taller, but you can see it straight ahead right there. There's an excavator on top of it too. Okay, maybe not 80. Not yet. It will be that high though. I'm telling you, there's a lot of sand on Estero Boulevard. A lot. The whole length of Estero Boulevard. So factor in 30 yards wide Estero Boulevard and about 2 feet of sand deep they had to clear out. And we're talking, 6 miles. So I see a lot of fences at ground level, but I'm going with my 5 feet above ground level, above, Estero Boulevard, 5 feet above Estero. So 9 feet on Fort Myers Beach was a storm surge. Compared to, they say Sanibel got hit with a 10-foot storm surge during Ian, but that was 10 feet with no wave. Fort Myers Beach got hit with I believe, was a 12-foot storm surge with the 7 to 9 foot waves on top of that. So that's what brought it up to 21. All right, we're gonna bail now. We're not even gonna go down to Fresh Catch. Let's see if we can get back to the road on this one. Again, we're gonna try to ride the beach all the way. Yeah, I need to get a new inner tube too. Inner tubes and outer tubes, it's the same price, whether you buy it at Walmart or buy it online. There's no brakes, so I buy it at Walmart. so good. Oh, now we're hitting some soft sand. We're digging in about 2 inches. Ooh, it's getting worse. Oh, it's getting better. Did we make it? Ooh, on something. Is it terra firma? I don't know. It's pretty firm. Made it. On terra firma. Again, sandy water is a very clean. It kind of like polishes and cleans. You have to go off island where you get mixed up with a lot of that clay and junk. Okay, maybe not 80 feet. Okay, maybe it's 50 feet. Okay. But there's more than one sand. Oh God, there's a sandstorm ahead of him. Because I know I can jump this here. Hello. There's a back way. This is the park now I park in. It says free to park here and no one's giving me that much grief. Sound like a nail. Remind myself, nails. There's a lot less shingle roofs being installed, but there still is a lot. Shingle roofs are really good to deal with nails. They use the screws, and they don't usually get ripped off. Now there are a lot of fences too. Fences have nails, but not the white plastic. The white plastic does not have nails. They have screws. But the wooden fences, yes, they have nails. Some of them, like mine, have screws, but a lot of wooden fences, they have nails. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll probably come back here next week just to see the difference between what a week's difference in cleaning up. So until next week, just past the Fort Myers Beach pool, and it's a black mess. This got blue sand all over my car. What a complete mess.